Wild horses lived long ago. They roamed free across vast lands which were open plains and grasslands. Humans were not yet their partners. Horses were simply part of nature's design, moving in herds for safety and company. Their lives were shaped by the seasons, constantly searching for food and water. This was their existence for thousands of years, a world mostly untouched by human hands where they thrived. These ancient horses looked a bit different. Some were smaller than horses today, while others had different coat patterns for camouflage. They faced many natural dangers, with predators like wolves and big cats hunting them. Survival depended on their speed and alertness. They had strong instincts to flee from threats, and the herd structure provided many eyes and ears, helping them stay alive in a wild world. Their hooves were tough for rough ground and harsh terrain. Early humans saw these wild horses. At first, horses were a source of food. Hunted like other large animals, cave paintings show images of horses depicting hunts and the animals themselves. Horses were admired for their power and grace, but the idea of partnership was far away. They were part of the wild, untamed world, and humans were just another predator to them in those early days. The wild horse herds had a social order. A dominant stallion often led the group, or perhaps an experienced mare guided them. They communicated through body language and sounds. Young foals learned from their mothers and the herd, with social learning being very important. It taught them how to survive in their environment. Their lives were a cycle of grazing, moving, and watching. This strong social nature would later be key, greatly helping in their relationship with humans. The idea to tame horses came slowly. It did not happen all at once. People started to see horses differently, maybe thinking they were more than just food. Perhaps they could help humans in many ways. This shift in thinking was a big step forward, happening in different places over time. The exact time and place are still debated by scholars. Archaeologists find clues in ancient bones and tools, helping piece together the story of domestication. The taming process was a major change for both species. Domestication likely began in Central Asia, with the Botai culture in Kazakhstan being a key site. Evidence there suggests horses were kept around 5,500 years ago. They might have been kept for milk first, or perhaps for their meat in a more controlled way. Riding them probably came a bit later in history. Learning to ride a wild-spirited animal was hard, requiring great skill and bravery from early humans. This was a new kind of interaction entirely, a bold experiment for humankind. Why did humans want to tame horses? Horses offered many advantages. They could carry heavy loads for long distances and travel much faster than humans on foot. This meant people could explore new areas more easily and trade goods over longer distances than ever before. Horses also became a source of status for some, with owning horses showing wealth and power in society. The practical benefits were very clear to see, driving the effort to domesticate them. It was a long and challenging process indeed. Taming wild horses was not easy at all. These animals were strong and independent by nature. Early methods probably involved capturing foals or isolating young horses from the herd. Gradually, humans would get them used to their presence, using patience and likely some form of reward. Over generations, horses became more docile through selection. Humans selected for traits like calmness and cooperation. This slow process changed the horse significantly, and it also changed human society forever. The wild spirit was gently guided towards partnership. Horses brought big changes to farming practices. Before horses, people used oxen or their own strength. Oxen were strong, but notably slow. Horses were faster and had more stamina for work. This meant more land could be ploughed efficiently, allowing farmers to prepare fields more quickly than before. This was a revolution in food production methods, enabling more food to be grown to feed more people. Communities could grow larger and become more stable. The horse became a partner in cultivation, helping to sow the seeds of civilization itself. Using horses for ploughing was a major step. Special harnesses had to be invented for this purpose. Early harnesses were not very efficient, sometimes pressing on the horse's windpipe and making it hard for the horse to breathe properly. Later, the horse collar was developed, a much better and more humane design. It allowed the horse to pull with its full strength, greatly increasing farming productivity. This invention made the horse an even more valuable asset to farmers, making farming less of a human toil. Horses also helped transport farm goods effectively. They could carry crops from the fields to storage areas and take surplus food to markets for sale. This helped local economies to grow and prosper, allowing farmers to trade their produce more easily. This connected rural areas with towns and cities. The ability to move goods efficiently was crucial, with horses providing the power for this movement. They were the engines of early agricultural commerce, their strong backs carrying the bounty of the land to many. The impact on society was profound and lasting. With more food, populations grew steadily. People had more time for other activities, allowing them to develop crafts art and new technologies. Sedentary lifestyles became more common and widespread, with villages growing into towns and towns into cities. The horse was a quiet contributor to this significant shift, its work on the farm underpinning human progress. This vital role often goes unnoticed in history, but it was essential for human advancement. The fields became more fruitful with their help. Horses changed how people moved across the land. Before horses, travel was slow and very difficult. People walked or used boats on rivers. Horses made land travel much faster and easier, allowing them to cover long distances in a single day. This opened up the world in new ways for many, enabling people to visit faraway places they only dreamed of. They could meet different cultures and exchange ideas, making the world feel a bit smaller and more connected. Horses were the key to this new mobility, carrying people towards new horizons and possibilities. The development of riding was a significant breakthrough. Learning to sit on a horse's back took time and practice. Early riders probably rode bareback without saddles or used simple pads for comfort. Saddles and stirrups came much later in history, making riding more secure and efficient. Stirrups allowed riders to keep their balance easily, enabling them to use weapons more effectively from horseback. Riding became a specialized skill for some, essential for messengers, traders, and travelers. The horse became an extension of the rider. Horses powered trade routes like the famous Silk Road. Merchants used horses to carry valuable goods, with silk, spices, and ideas traveling across continents. This exchange enriched different civilizations greatly. Horses were strong enough for heavy packs of goods and had the endurance for long and arduous journeys. Without horses, these extensive trade networks would be impossible. They were the lifeblood of ancient commerce and exchange, connecting east and west in profound ways. Their hooves paved the pathways of global trade. The need for horses led to better roads. As more people traveled by horse, pathways improved. Old tracks became wider and smoother for travel, and new roads were built to connect important centers. Coaching inns developed along these routes for travelers, providing comfortable resting places for them and their horses. This infrastructure supported the growing movement of people and helped in communication between distant places. Messages could be delivered quickly by riders on swift horses, creating a more interconnected society globally. Horses shortened the miles between places, bridging distances and bringing the world closer together. Section 5. The war horse, a force on the battlefield. Horses dramatically changed warfare forever. Before horses, battles were fought entirely on foot. Soldiers relied on their own strength and endurance. The introduction of horses created new possibilities in conflict. Armies with horses had a huge advantage. They could move faster than foot soldiers. They could strike with greater force and surprise. The horse became a powerful weapon of war. Its presence on the battlefield was terrifying to enemies. It signaled a new era of military tactics. The ground trembled under their powerful charge. Chariots were among the first military uses of horses. Light, two-wheeled chariots were fast and agile. They were used by ancient Egyptians, Hittites, and others. A warrior in a chariot could shoot arrows or throw spears. Chariots could break enemy formations effectively. They were a symbol of power and status for rulers. Building and maintaining chariots was expensive. It required skilled craftsmen and trained horses. These were the tanks of the ancient world. They dominated battlefields for many centuries of warfare. Later, cavalry became the dominant force in armies. Soldiers riding directly on horseback were more versatile. Cavalry could scout enemy positions effectively. They could raid supply lines and disrupt the enemy. They could charge enemy infantry with devastating effect. Great military leaders like Alexander the Great used cavalry brilliantly. The Mongols built a vast empire on horseback. The speed and mobility of cavalry were unmatched by foot soldiers. A well-trained horse and rider were a formidable unit. They could turn the tide of any conflict. The psychological impact of horses in war was immense. The sight of charging cavalry could break an enemy's spirit. The noise of hooves and the height of the riders were intimidating. Horses themselves had to be brave and resilient. They were trained to face noise, chaos, and danger. Not all horses were suited for war. It took special breeding and rigorous training. These war horses shared the risks with their riders. They were true partners in the grim business of battle. Their courage was legendary in many cultures. Section 6. Beyond utility, the emerging bond. The relationship with horses began to change over time. It started as one of pure usefulness and utility. Horses plowed fields and carried goods for people. They took soldiers bravely into battle. But something more started to develop slowly. Humans spent a lot of time with their horses. They cared for them daily, providing food and shelter. This close contact fostered a new kind of connection. It went beyond just using an animal for work. It started to become a real partnership. A sense of understanding began to grow between species. Horses are naturally social animals in their essence. In the wild, they live in herds for protection. They form strong bonds with each other within the herd. This social nature made them open to bonding with humans. Humans who treated horses with kindness found a response. The horse could learn to trust its human caretaker. It could see the human as part of its herd. This was a key step in forming a deeper bond. The horse was not just a tool anymore. It was becoming a valued companion to many. Anecdotes from history show this growing affection clearly. Famous leaders were known for their beloved horses. Alexander the Great had Bucephalus, his famous steed. This horse supposedly feared only Alexander himself. Such stories highlight a special connection between them. These were not just tales of useful animals. They were stories of loyalty and deep understanding. People began to name their horses individually. They showed concern for their well-being and comfort. This emotional investment was new and significant. It showed a shift in perception of these animals. The daily routines of care helped build this bond. Feeding, grooming, and stabling a horse requires attention. This constant interaction created familiarity between them. The horse learned the human's scent and voice. The human learned the horse's moods and personality traits. This mutual learning was important for the relationship. It laid the foundation for trust and respect. Over time, this trust could deepen into loyalty. The horse might even show affection for its human. This was the beginning of the loyal companion. The heart began to join the hand in this relationship. Section 7. Understanding the herd, equine psychology and loyalty. To understand horse loyalty, we must look at their psychology. Horses are herd animals, as we know. Their survival depends on the group's cohesion. Within the herd, there is a clear social structure. There is often a lead mare or a stallion. This leader guides the herd and makes decisions. Other horses follow this leader for safety and guidance. This instinct to follow a leader is very strong. It is a fundamental part of their being. This structure is key to their world and how they perceive it. Humans can fit into this herd structure. A knowledgeable and confident human can act like a leader. The horse can learn to see the human in this role. This is not about being cruel or overly dominant. It is about being consistent and clear in communication. The horse needs to feel safe with its human leader. When a horse trusts its human, it will follow willingly. This is a natural response for a herd animal. The human becomes a source of security and comfort. This is a powerful foundation for loyalty. Loyalty in horses is built on trust and mutual respect. Horses are very sensitive animals by their nature. They can sense a person's mood and intentions accurately. If a human is fair and kind, the horse will respond well. Positive reinforcement works best in training horses. Rewarding good behavior helps the horse understand expectations. Harsh treatment creates fear, not genuine loyalty. A fearful horse may obey commands, but it is not truly loyal. True loyalty comes from a positive and respectful relationship. It is earned, not forced upon them by humans. Consistency in handling is also very important. Horses thrive on routine and predictability in their lives. If a human's behavior is unpredictable or erratic, the horse becomes anxious. Consistent commands and actions help the horse feel secure. It knows what to expect from its human partner. This security fosters a deeper bond between them. The horse learns that the human is reliable. This reliability is a cornerstone of trust, and from that deep trust, unwavering loyalty can grow. The horse chooses to be a willing partner in activities. Section 8. Echoes of the past horses in modern society. Today, horses play different roles in our lives. For centuries, they were vital for work and transport. The invention of cars and tractors changed that dynamic. Machines took over many of their traditional jobs, but horses did not disappear from human society. Instead, their role shifted significantly. They moved from being primary work animals. They found new purposes in a modern world. Their importance simply evolved with time and technology. The bond, however, remains strong for many people around the globe. Horse riding is now a popular sport and leisure activity. People enjoy riding for pleasure and for competition. There are many equestrian disciplines to choose from. Dressage, show jumping, and racing are a few examples. These activities showcase the horse's athleticism and grace. They also require a strong partnership between horse and rider. This modern connection keeps the ancient bond alive. It allows people to experience the joy of working with horses. It is a tradition carried forward into the present day. Horses also have important therapeutic roles now. Equine therapy helps people with physical or emotional challenges. The gentle nature of horses can be very calming. Riding can improve balance and coordination for individuals. Just being around horses can reduce stress and anxiety. This shows a different side of the horse-human bond. It highlights their capacity for healing and support. Horses offer a unique form of comfort and connection. They connect with people on a deep emotional level. This is a growing field of appreciation for their abilities. In some parts of the world, horses still work. They are used in ranching to manage cattle herds. Some remote areas still rely on horses for transport. Police forces in some cities use mounted patrols for crowd control. These roles are fewer than in the past, but they show that horses can still be practical partners. The enduring fascination with horses is clear. They continue to capture our imagination and hearts. Their presence enriches our lives in many diverse ways. The partnership continues, adapted to new times and needs. Section 9, a timeless partnership, the enduring legacy. We have seen the horse's long journey through time, from wild creatures on ancient plains to tamed partners that changed human history profoundly. They helped us grow food and build cities. They carried us across vast distances and unexplored lands. They fought bravely by our side in countless battles. This journey is remarkable and inspiring. It shows the adaptability of horses as a species. It also shows the human ability to connect with another species. This shared history is very deep and meaningful. It is woven into the fabric of our past. The horse-human relationship is truly unique in many ways. Few other animals have played such diverse roles. Few have formed such a close partnership with humans. This bond is built on mutual trust and understanding. It has survived for thousands of years. It has adapted to changing times and technologies. The horse is more than just an animal to many. It is a friend, a partner, a teacher, a confidant. This special connection sets them apart from other animals. It is a testament to their gentle nature and intelligence. Why does this bond continue to thrive today? Perhaps it is their majestic beauty and undeniable power. Perhaps it is their gentle nature and keen intelligence. Horses offer a connection to the natural world. In our busy modern lives, this is valuable. They remind us of a simpler time in history. They teach us patience and empathy in our interactions. The feeling of riding a horse is exhilarating for many. The quiet companionship is deeply rewarding and comforting. These are reasons why people still love horses dearly. The legacy of the horse-human bond is enduring. It is a story of coevolution and mutual partnership. Horses have shaped human civilization in countless ways. Humans have shaped the horse through breeding and care. This interlinked destiny continues into the future. Whether in sport, therapy, or simple companionship, the horse remains a significant presence in our world. Their journey from wild to loyal is complete. But their story with us is still being written every day. This timeless partnership will likely continue for generations. It is a bond for the ages.